Hey guys, what's up? Today's video we need to talk about the most hated stock probably on YouTube, and that's Nikola. So Nikola and GM have been in talks with closing a deal where GM is supposed to have 11% stake in Nikola. However, this deal is delayed, so I'm going to play a 4-minute clip that you guys can watch through, and then after the video I'm going to talk about Nikola and GM and how you could potentially make money by investing through Nikola. I'll go through the risk and rewards with that. And yeah, I think this is a super interesting time for Nikola. So stay tuned till the end of the video. I think it's definitely worth your guys' time.
GM is not expected to finalize that $2 billion deal with Nikola, which was scheduled to close today. Our Phil LeBeau has the latest on that, fresh off of a call with both the Nikola chairman and CEO. Phil.
Carl, these are the first comments on the record from Steve Gursky, who is the chairman of Nikola, as well as Mark Russell, the CEO of Nikola. As you mentioned, the deal with General Motors, it's not going to be closed today. That was the target date, September 30th, but they are still in discussions, and they still may finalize a deal with General Motors. I asked Steve Gursky, given everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks involving Nikola, involving the allegations from Hindenburg Research that this was a house of lies, whether or not he believes that Nikola did enough due diligence and truly represented what this company is all about to General Motors. He said, yeah, we did. Here's what he had to say.
The company's been public for, 4 months? So, we're comfortable with the diligence we did.
So as you take a look at shares of General Motors, keep in mind that it is scheduled to take an 11% stake in Nikola. At least that was the expectation when this deal was arranged starting on September 8th, if it was to close by today. I've been told by people, don't be surprised if General Motors takes a bigger stake in Nikola, given the fact that as you take a look at shares of Nikola, the valuation is far lower now than what it was just a few weeks ago. I think it's down anywhere between 50 and 60%, depending on how you measure it. So there is a change in the valuation of Nikola. But both Gursky and Russell say, look, we are making progress on the fuel cell semi-truck that is being built in Europe. The first 5 prototypes are expected to be coming in the next few weeks. Gursky made it a point of saying, look, I have driven in the fuel cell semi. It is a real vehicle. I know that there is the video of it rolling down the hill, he said, but the vehicle that I was in is a real vehicle. We have a company that, according to Mark Russell, the CEO of Nikola, he says, look, the valuation, it's still an extremely valuable company. But one last note, Carl, the Badger electric pickup truck. Nikola put out a strategy statement today. No mention of the Badger electric pickup truck. I asked Mark Russell and Steve Gursky, is that still the plan, to have General Motors build this? All they said is it's part of the discussions. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not General Motors ultimately says, you know what, that's fine, get rid of that. But we're still interested in the hydrogen fuel cell and battery electric vehicle technology for the semi-truck. So the talks continue.
That's fascinating, Phil, the notion that they would double down. And you're right about the price action on the stock. I mean, it went from 93 in June to less than 20 now. And it's funny, even though we're watching this particular transaction try to close, signs of overall industry demand for the new technologies, whether it's California's new law or or Walmart tripling their order for the Tesla semi in Canada. I mean, those continue to come out every day.
Correct. And nobody disputes that the commercial vehicle industry, whether you're talking about Class 7 and 8 semi-trucks, or if you're talking about the consumer vehicles that you and I would go out to a dealership and buy, it's moving towards electric and ultimately someday hydrogen. The question becomes, how quickly does it get there, Carl? It's certainly not going to happen in the next couple of years. The question is, how much growth is there? And that's at the heart of the questions surrounding Nikola's valuation. As you mentioned, the stock is up more than 5% today as they continue their discussions with General Motors.
And, Phil, it's a kind of a fascinating thought experiment if the revelations from Hindenburg had come without this GM deal having been reached, because you could argue that it would have been more devastating as a standalone company, whereas with the participation of GM as a manufacturer and trying to legitimize some of the technology, what might have seemed like it was a dead end actually could have a future simply because GM's there to do what it wants to do, and also has the incentives to get all those EV credits with this deal.
Look, GM holds all the cards right now, Mike, and we've talked about this. I know you and others have talked about this as well. GM holds all the cards right now, and if GM saw no value at all in Nikola, they would walk away from this. And this is not just a matter where Steve Gursky called up Mary Barra and said, hey, you want to put the deal together? Mary Barra is somebody who's very meticulous, and she wants her team to be meticulous as well. So they still see value here. Otherwise, you would see them walking away from this deal.
Okay guys, so you're probably wondering, is there a way to make money with Nikola right now? There is, but it comes with significant risk. So essentially, I've been contemplating, can I do some kind of turnaround play with Nikola and make some quick money? And this is how it would kind of look like. So essentially right now, we're waiting for GM to close the deal with Nikola. However, when they were first in talks with the deal, Nikola's stock was trading in the $36 range. Now Nikola's trading around $18. So obviously GM is looking at this like, okay, we were to take 11% stake at $36, let's say. Well, now you're trading at half that price, so we need to renegotiate and figure out some new numbers. So realistically, if GM still wants a deal with Nikola, they're either going to take like a 22% stake, double their stake in Nikola, or stick with that 11% stake, but at a much better price for them at $18 instead of $36. So if that happens, then yes, you could play Nikola as a turnaround play and probably make a quick 100% return. I think if this GM deal does close and it's a good deal for Nikola, the stock could double. It's extremely volatile. However, it's kind of a gamble. I do think that there's a better chance of a deal closing than not closing. However, if a deal doesn't close with GM, there's a good chance that Nikola's stock just goes to zero. I think it's undisputable at this point that Nikola really can't continue without a good partnership. So if the deal doesn't close with GM, Nikola's stock without a doubt will tank even further down. And the only way it'll ever probably recover is if they score a partnership with a different company, which is just gambling at that point. And even playing Nikola as a recovery play, in all honesty, is gambling. You're just betting fully on this one deal. Otherwise, this company really has nothing going for it. So am I going to buy Nikola? Probably not right now. I'm still waiting on the sidelines. I think there's better opportunities for turnaround plays in the stock market right now, but it's definitely something I am looking at and considering. If I do buy shares of Nikola, I'll let you guys know, but it'll be strictly as a speculation, maybe like 0.5% of my portfolio in this. If I do invest in Nikola, I definitely don't plan on putting much money into it at all. So yeah, those are really the scenarios how I could see somebody playing Nikola if you want to make money. Also, I know a lot of viewers probably don't know much about options, but options could be a play as well, using puts and call options to make money in this. But that's more advanced. I'm not going to cover that in this video. And yeah, comment down below, guys, if you're investing in Nikola or if you plan on investing in them and making money. I'm curious what your guys' plan with that is. And give me your thoughts on Nikola in general, what you think is going to happen with their stock. I'll continue to follow Nikola and report further updates that happens with their business. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe to see more of that kind of content and drop a like on the video so more people can see this. All right, I'll see you in the next video.